Hello, I'm so incredibly excited to be bringing to you this very first instalment of Monsters Under My Bed, Recovering from Childhood Trauma. Now, please bear with me. I am reading it from the screen on my computer, so if I kind of look like I'm not looking at you, that's why. I hope you can forgive me for that. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, preface. I was once challenged to write a story of my life in 200 words. How could I possibly summarise 50 plus years to that extent? But I did, and you know what? I could do it even more. Born 1965, shit happens, I lose my way, I find hope, courage and strength, I release the pain, I thrive. There you go, that was 20 words. I used to think that there wasn't anything remarkable about my life, that this kind of stuff happens to people all the time. They get over it and they live happily ever after. Only working in mental health for 15 years soon showed me another reality, that there are people in so much pain that have lost hope and don't know where to start rebuilding their lives. They've become victims of the mental health system that was designed to support them, to help them, but has kept them trapped in this cycle of despair, medicating the pain away. Now, don't get me wrong, not all mental health services are unhelpful, but the focus of treatment and symptoms control on medication and diagnosis is robbing people the chance of ever breaking free. When I was given my diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, or emotionally unstable personality disorder, as my psychiatrist preferred to call it, I was told that there were no magic pills to take the pain away, that the best I could ever hope for was that I would learn to cope as I lurched from one crisis to another. I had a choice when I received that diagnosis, a choice to believe what the psychiatrist said, or a choice to dismiss it for the pile of bullshit it was. I chose the latter and made it my life's mission to find a way out of the depths of despair and sorrow and into the life of happiness and freedom. And my life's mission became my soul's purpose. In finding ways through the pain, in befriending and setting the monsters free from under the bed, I am here to shine a light, to be a beacon of hope for all those lost souls who are still trapped in the legacy of their trauma. And I stand before you, bearing my soul, not for some poor me pity party, but to show you that no matter how hopeless this life appears, no matter what life throws your way, you always have a choice of how you respond, a choice to change the dominant thoughts that go through your mind, a choice to stand up and say, this is not who I am. A choice not to be defined by your past, a choice not to let a diagnosis dictate your life. You have a choice to find the power within you. And I dedicate this book to all of you. May you be brave enough to face the monsters under your bed. May you find hope in the reading of this, and may you find peace and joy. Introduction. I remember as a kid being told over and over again by my parents that the monsters under my bed weren't real, that they were in my imagination. Newsflash, they fucking lied. And it got me wondering why parents say that. Maybe they are the ones that are really scared. Fed with these daily dose of lies, I began to believe them. And every time I was called into my dad's room for some special treatment, I would say to myself over and over again, this is not real. This is not really happening. This is just my imagination playing tricks on me. And that is how I survived childhood sexual abuse, by telling myself that it wasn't real and by escaping from my body. Astral projection, I think they call it. And the monsters under the bed, well, they were just there to keep it real for me, to help me process what was happening. But the more I kept denying their existence, the louder and scarier they got. They wanted acknowledgement, and they wanted my love and acceptance. They wanted to be set free, but I wouldn't do that, because to acknowledge and validate their existence meant owning up to the truth of my childhood. And it took losing my sanity, drug and alcohol addiction, divorce and chronic illness for me to finally get real and acknowledge their existence. So this is our story, mine and the monsters under my bed. Let me introduce you to the monsters, my family. Oh no, that came out wrong. Although it could be argued that some of my family were indeed monsters. I have a rather large family. Sorry, I mean collection of monsters. So you'll need to excuse me if I only introduce you to the major protagonists and some of their darling offspring. First up, we have Shame. She looks quite petite and coy, but don't be fooled by her cuteness and her size. The whole ignoring thing really works for her. She thrives on it, grows more powerful and intense. Her power has been strong and reverberated throughout the whole of my life, often hidden, actually mostly hidden. And then next up we have Fear. A great big scaredy cat. He runs away and hides at the slightest whiff of anything remotely scary. Tends to hang out a lot with shame and anger. And the thing that feeds Fear the most is change. Close friends with Shame and Fear is Anger. Of course, Anger is permanently red in the face, wrinkled with deep furrows on her forehead. Rather surprisingly, Anger is quite shy. Seriously, Anger feels so awkward making an appearance and can often be found hiding behind guilt. The thing that gets Anger out from under the bed is injustice, hates it, so much so that she forgets all the social awkwardness to become vocal and opinionated and bolshy. But perspective here, this is still very rare. And my constant companion throughout this life, let me introduce you to Guilt. Guilt has this refined look about her, elegant you might even say, and she has this whole tripping thing down to a fine art. What feeds her and makes her come out from hiding? Well, that'll be just about anything. And finally, well, for this book at least, we have Sadness. Poor old Sadness, fat and round and cuddly. He feels way more comfortable coming out when watching a movie than responding to anything real. But we love him all the same, even if we are a bit exasperated by the constant isolation, which just seems to make him even more sad. They've all had a significant impact on my life, all had their role to play, and I feel like the best way for you to get to know them is to share a few of their stories through their eyes and to introduce you to some of their kids too. They want me to do this so that you can start acknowledging your own monsters, start befriending them rather than ignoring them, and understand the importance of acknowledging their existence within your own healing process. I would not have survived had I not been through this journey of healing with them. And they get that not everyone wants to hear stories of pain and trauma. But trust me, they have a way of storytelling that is engaging and healing, or so we've been told. So this is how it works. The monsters are a part of us, But when we're not paying attention to them, they stay under the bed, growing the more we ignore them, until they are too big to hide any longer. They want the opportunity to be seen, to be heard, for their experiences to be validated, to be loved and accepted. For in love and acceptance, they are free to play happily in the wilderness, leaving you to fully embrace joy, love, and peace. Thank you. So this book is going to be released on Monday, the 19th of November, and it is going to be available for you on Amazon. And I will pop the link as soon as it's available in the description box below. Please do subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I will be sharing lots more wisdom from the monsters, many more extracts from the book, and helping you to understand how you can start befriending your own monsters so that you can embrace this healing journey for yourself. Take care for now. Lots of love. Mwah.